That's right, and a warm day today. Temperatures well up into the 80s, about 10 degrees above where we should normally be this time of year. And it looks like this warm weather, of course, we came off the warmest September on record. Looks like we're going right into October on the same sort of trajectory. First, we take a look at the radar. Clear locally, a couple of showers back over the mountains, but as they work their way eastward, they have been falling apart. And you can see that here on the wider view. They'll cross over the mountains, and then as they get into some of the drier, less humid air here across central Virginia, they start to fall apart. Just a few debris clouds moving in. So we'll see partly cloudy skies as we go through the overnight hours, and those winds will continue out of the south and southwest. Notice as we get towards 7, 8, 9 o'clock, temperatures in the low 70s, and we should see a few upper 60s as we get towards 11 o'clock. And by tomorrow morning, mid to upper 60s inland, right around 70 degrees along the coastline. But those south and southwest winds once again tomorrow will bring in that heat. Still not too humid. It's not like we typically see here in the middle of August, but still we're looking at some warm temperatures as we go through the morning. Low 80s, and into the afternoon we're looking at those readings up to around 83, 84, probably even 85 degrees, partly sunny skies. Notice Futurecast does print out an isolated sprinkle. We'll put those odds at less than 5% tomorrow. Tomorrow evening, a little bit of a shift in the wind out of the northeast, but still as we start the day on Thursday, those winds will switch back around towards the south and southwest once again. So another warm day coming up on Thursday, and temperatures will likely climb into the upper 80s. I wouldn't even be surprised to see a 90 or two show up on the weather map as we get into Thursday afternoon. Outside right now, we've got just a few clouds showing up. This is our LFCU camera up in Oyster Point and Newport News. We've got a lot of blue out there as well. Temperature of 83 degrees, winds out of the southwest at 8 miles per hour, humidity 49%. Notice the dew point 62. Now, sometimes in the summertime, it's up around 72 to 75. So even though temperatures are up, it's not as humid as it could be this time of year, or certainly not like we see in summertime. So that's certainly some good news. 83 in Hertford and Newport News, 82 in Gloucester, 79 back in Surrey. It's 83 in Portsmouth and 79 in Kill Devil Hills. So for tonight, 68, partly cloudy and comfortable. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour, and variable winds tomorrow. Partly to mostly sunny and very warm again with that high temperature of 85. Sunset now after 7 o'clock, 7:02, or sunrise at 7:02 a.m. Sunset's getting earlier as well, 6:45 tomorrow night. Partly cloudy, mild for this time of year, 68 degrees. And Thursday, hot for October, upper 80s to near 90 degrees with mostly sunny skies. But we have a weak front that'll move through Thursday night into Friday, and that'll drop temperatures back to 81 degrees on Friday with partly to mostly sunny skies. 81 Saturday, up to 84 Sunday, and notice just a slight chance of a shower, really just a dry forecast for the next 7 days. And even early next week, temperatures still in the low 80s. There's our normal high there at the top of the screen. It's normally 75.